All right, now thanks to Stanton and Taylor Real Estate, it's time to hand out the Jordan and Derek Awards. Let's kick off with you, Sheriff. What's your Jordan for the week first? Seems it's been a long time.
Yeah, mate, I'm going to go with 1,500 meter women's runner, Sifam Hassan.
Yes.
She got to the second last lap and fell over just before where the finish line would be. So with maybe about 500 meters to go, she's had a full-on tumble and had to get up and run from the back of the pack. There were two of the runners fell, but she just powered that last 450, 500 meters and ended up winning her final. Like an amazing effort. That was one of my favorite highlights of the game, and I've put together a bunch of them for today's podcast. So
nice.
There's more where that came from.
Very good. Well, you, Viper, what was your Jordan for the week, mate?
Oh, I'm going to go with our Penrith girl, Jess Fox, and the gold medal in the C1. And it's such a great achievement because her and her mum and dad and family, they had to fight so hard to get the over the last about 12 years to get that event into the Olympics for the women. And for her, I reckon it had to be far more satisfying to win that than it would have been if she'd had won the K1. As much as she would have loved that, I think the C1 was the one she really wanted because it just meant so much. So
not just that, she came back after getting a bronze, which it's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah,
bronze is still great, but it would have been disappointing for her in the K1 to get bronze when that's what she was heavily favoured to win.
And you could tell that she didn't want. She wanted the gold instead of the bronze. She was heartbroken about that. But you're right. Once you get that gold, and it was the first time that event's ever been done, that's got to mean something.
Yeah,
you've created history.
She handled the bronze, really well. You accept it with grace, even though it wasn't your goal.
Yeah.
But then she got the big one. So congrats, Jess.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. That's for sure.
What about you, Captain?
Yeah, boys. Look, I'm going to go the same theme along the Olympics. You've got to look at the female swimmers, Emma McKeown, and then Kaylee McEwen. The amount of goals these girls wrapped up, it's just phenomenal. And Emma's now, I think, the highest gold medal winner for Australia in the Olympics of all time. And she just kept doing it. She kept winning and winning and winning. And she's just so gracious when she gets out of the pool as well. And then just the medal ceremony at the end when Seaborn gave her the medal, her idol growing up and watching her racing and win all the golds, for her to put the gold medal around her neck. I just thought that was superb.
Wasn't it? Just
really interesting as well. I saw a news poll during the week and they're already starting to ask people who's the GOAT of Australian swimming. And they're putting her beside names like Dawn Fraser and Ian Thorpe and
Jones.
Yeah, and Grant Hackett and those huge star names that we've had over the years.
Yeah.
That's testament in itself to get mentioned among those names, but quite possibly winning the most gold medals, she's already there.
Now, just one thing on Dawn. How funny was it every time they'd cross over to Noosa where all the swimmers are? Dawn is front row center, getting all the glory, getting all the cameras, and that's like they wheeled her out for every big event. Go, Dawny. She loved it.
She did. She enjoyed it.
Dawny's amazing, but nothing tops the Aussie swim coach iconic shots of air humping the rail after Ariana Titmus. That was so good.
I beg your pardon. We've called that rail routing, and it's been known as rail routing from now on.
Okay, beg you.
And we'll still be watching that in 20 years' time. The world will still be going back to that. Yeah.
How good. Let's get into the Derek Awards. Sheriff, what's your Derek for the week, mate?
My Derek for the week, I'm going to go with the NRL in general, just to give us a little bit of a break from the Olympics.
Yep.
The NRL, it's just been so close to being called off, and we had a scare on Saturday with Queensland going into a lockdown. If you're not an Australian listener, you might not have heard, but Queensland went into a snap 3-day lockdown. We've already had numerous bubble breaches, as we like to coin the phrase now, with players not doing what they're supposed to do. And the NRL must be so close to its last chance with Queensland.
I think they
are. Well, and where do they go from there? You know, like why did they not just take it to New Zealand or Western Australia or
Tasmania? Yeah.
Or anywhere but the eastern seaboard of Australia that's currently suffering lockdowns. Yeah. I just don't understand the thinking behind it. But
yeah.
Anyway, that's my Derek for the week, boys.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. What about you, Viper? Can you top that?
Yeah, I can. I just can't go past that idiot Jocker. Yeah, the Joker.
Joker.
Oh, yeah. Boo.
Yeah, like for the guy who's potentially going to be called the GOAT in tennis for many years, he's still alive. He's still going. He's going to go past Rafa and Fed, and he just keeps doing idiotic shit like he did the other night, slamming the heck out of his rackets.
Yeah.
And not just one, but multiple rackets got a hiding.
Yep.
And I'm not surprised that he had a bloody shoulder injury, the way he pounded his racket into that metal post and anything else he could find. It's like, yeah, I think I've fucked my shoulder up. I don't want to play for a bronze medal. But the worst part, I reckon, was it was a bronze medal. If it was a gold medal, I'll bet me left one the prick would have played. And yeah, because it was a gold medal, he said to his teammate, "Fuck you, I don't care about you. I'm not playing." Yeah. And for that, I'm writing him off. As far as I'm concerned, he's dead to me.
Oh, I'm going to play devil's advocate for just 30 seconds. I gave a Jordan a long time ago when I was on the show, and said that, sorry, not a Jordan, a Frizzy, that Jocko would end up with the most majors ever. He is the GOAT in my opinion, and I don't think he'll be toppled. And he did come out after what the bad behaviour you're talking about. He did come out and say, "I'm sorry for the way I acted, and it's frustration, it's heat of the moment, and it shows that I care and I'm passionate.
I love my sport."
And he slams the ball into the ball girl.
But a genuine shoulder injury, that's a different story altogether.
Yeah,
let's not go there again.
He literally got his ball and racket and went home from the Olympics. That's what he did.
Yeah, he did.
What's worse, a genuine shoulder injury or just not competing at all because of mental health concerns?
Yeah, true.
I reckon you're right. He had both mental health concerns and a shoulder injury caused by slamming his racket into the metal bowl.
Perhaps wasn't meaning Jocker, but anyway, we'll let that one slide.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Captain?
Look, I don't really normally like to get too political on this podcast because it is, a sports podcast and it's pretty bit of a piss take at best of times. But I've got to give it to the Queensland Premier. How dare you shut our rugby league and AFL down on Saturday, make us have to spend time with the family when we use sport to get away from it, sit on the couch with a beer in the hand, having a punt, watching the TAB or watching sports bet apps, whatever you're on. How dare you take that away from us? But then, ironically, the horse racing still keeps going up there in Brisbane. You're either in a lockdown or you're not. You can't just cut some sports or not all of them. Make your mind up, because us sports freaks, I want my Saturday back. So get your shit together. Do it now.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
The only differentiating factor there would be that horses can't catch COVID, so far as I'm aware.
No. The funny thing was watching the jockeys going around with the masks on. I was like, oh, that'll do me.
What about the footy players on the weekend in the masks on the sideline? Like they can pound each other without a mask. They're all in a bubble. There's no spectators, and when they go off the field, they've got to put a mask on.
Well, when they run out of the corridors, they've got to put a mask on. But everyone's in the bubble anyway. The staff, the players, the umpires. You're sitting there, as you said, hugging each other and tackling each other on the field.
Yeah.
But when you're sitting on the sideline, hang on, COVID might whiffed over the stadium walls and might get you.
We're on television. Put the mask on, boys. Go figure, eh?